My dear brothers and sisters, there comes a moment in the life of every nation when it must pause, look at its reflection, and ask itself a simple but powerful question. Why were we created? Was this land carved out of sacrifice merely to exist? Or was it meant to rise, shine, and stand tall among the nations of the world? Today, I invite you to journey back to a history lesson, but to a reminder of what this soil means, what these borders represent, and what this flag demands from us. There was a time when millions of Muslims lived under the shadow of fear, their identity questioned, their voices drowned, their future uncertain, and they were told that they were too weak, too divided, too scattered to ever dream of sovereignty. Yet destiny has a way of bending before the will of a determined people. When hearts unite around a purpose, no power on earth can suppress the calling of freedom. What happened on this subcontinent was not political achievement alone. It was the awakening of a nation that remembered its worth. Imagine those caravans of men, women, and children walking through fire and blood, holding on to nothing but faith. Imagine the mothers clutching their infants with trembling hands, whispering prayers as they crossed hostile lands. Imagine the young men standing guard through sleepless nights, protecting the hopes of their families with courage far greater than their years. They were not fighting for territory. They were fighting for dignity. And from their courage, a new nation emerged. A nation written in sacrifice, sealed in struggle, and blessed with purpose. But freedom is not the end of the story. It is the beginning of a responsibility that stretches far beyond the day flags were raised and borders were drawn. The real test begins after independence, when the drums of celebration fade away, when the slogans of victory grow silent, and the ordinary citizens must decide whether they will build or break, rise or fall, unite or divide. Today, decades later, the question is not whether we gained a homeland. The question is, have we done justice to it? Have we lived with the discipline, honesty, the unity that was expected of the people of a newly born nation? Have we protected the values that gave us freedom? Or have we allowed our own weaknesses to chip away at the foundation built by those who gave their lives? Look around and you'll see a country blessed in ways the world envies, standing like eternal guardians, rivers flowing like the veins of a living soul, fertile lands that could feed millions, youth bursting with potential, and a culture rich with color, poetry, vitality, and resilience. Land is not ordinary. It is a masterpiece crafted by nature and destiny. If potential means nothing if it is not awakened, talent means nothing if it remains unused, and freedom means nothing if we do not honor the sacrifices behind it. The true battle today is not against foreign enemies, but against the shadows within: corruption, division, carelessness, injustice, and the belief that someone else will fix what we have broken. Nations do not rise because of governments alone. They rise because ordinary people decide that enough is enough. They will not cheat, not steal, not betray, not hate, not divide. Nations rise when citizens act with integrity, even when no one is watching. Some people say, what difference can one person make? But history is written by individuals who refuse to be ordinary. Every great change begins with one person who decides to be better today than they were yesterday. One student choosing honesty over shortcuts. One worker choosing dedication over laziness. One voter choosing truth over lies. One leader choosing people over power. These single decisions multiply into movements, and movements build nations. This is not a speech to remind you of the past. It is a call to ignite your future. Pakistan was not created to be a spectator in the world. It was created to lead, innovate, inspire, and stand with pride. A nation of more than 250 million cannot stay asleep when destiny stands at its door knocking. The world is changing faster than ever. Innovation, technology, knowledge, and discipline are the engines that power modern countries. If we stand still, we will fall behind. But if we rise with courage, the world will not be able to ignore us. To the youth listening, you are not the future of Pakistan. You are the present. Your ideas, your energy, your dreams, and your actions decide where this nation will be in 10, 20, or 50 years. You were not born to be silent, confused, or uncertain. You were born to think, to build, to create, to challenge, and to lead. Do not underestimate your power. Do not let anyone convince you that your voice does not matter. Nations change when their youth wake up, and I tell you today, it's time to wake up. Build your character before you build your career. Before you clean your city. Discipline your habits before you discipline your children. Transform your country, begin by transforming yourself. Every day you waste is a day lost for the nation that needs you. And remember this truth carved into the soul of history: no force on earth can destroy a nation whose people stand united. Unity does not mean we agree on everything. It means we refuse to let differences break us. Whether we speak different languages, come from different provinces, or follow different paths, we're one nation, one people, one destiny. Stand together, and nothing can defeat you. Fight among yourselves. You will lose before the enemy even appears. Look at the flag waves above you. Its green reminds you of your identity. Its white reminds you of your duty to protect the rights of minorities. And the star and crescent remind you of a future that belongs to those who believe, strive, and persevere. Treat this flag as more than cloth. Treat it as a promise that you will play your part in fulfilling the dream that created this homeland. Let us make a vow today, not with words, but with commitment. Promise that you will not lie even when lying benefits you. Promise that you will not take what is not yours, even if no one will notice. Promise that you will treat others with respect, even if they differ from you. Promise that you will stand for justice even when it is difficult. Nations that compromise on values collapse from within. Nations that live with virtue stand for centuries. And what of hope? Hope is not a fantasy. Hope is a duty. Nations rise when they believe they can rise. When the world doubts you, when circumstances challenge you, when obstacles block your way, hope whispers that the story is not over. As long as you breathe, as long as you try, as long as you unite, your nation will move forward. This is your land. These are your streets, your markets, your schools, your fields, your rivers, your mountains. This sky belongs to you. The future belongs to you. Every problem you see today is not a sign of failure. It is a sign of unfinished work. Unfinished work is an invitation for heroes. Be those heroes. Be the generation that future children read about in their books. Be the generation that says, we took a struggling nation and turned it into a thriving one. We honored the sacrifices of our ancestors. We kept their dream alive. In every era, nations face trials. Some rise, some fall, and some remain forgotten. But Pakistan has the heart of a warrior, the soul of a poet, and the resilience of a believer. It is not destined to be forgotten. It's destined to rise, and it will rise. Today its people decide that they will no longer wait for miracles. They will become the miracle. So stand tall.
Believe in your destiny. Work for your nation the way those before you bled for it. And never forget that the world respects only those who respect themselves. If you walk with confidence, discipline, and unity, no force, no power, no nation, no enemy will ever undo what was built with sacrifice and sealed with faith.
The journey continues. The struggle continues. The dream continues. And so long as the people of this land stand together as one, no force on earth can undo Pakistan.